Oh shit, look, it's wet. Let me bring it a bit closer. It's been a week since I got back, and I'm like now settling in. I have one favorite that is like kind of like saw me through the whole month in a small way, but in an important way. That's a beauty favorite. But yeah, I don't have too many.
My first one is what's on my face right now. You know that I don't use a lot of foundation. I just put my concealer and that's it. Even for like events, if I am wearing foundation, it's my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, which I've had for years. But I tried this It Cosmetics CC
Mhm.
cream, which I've heard so much about for so many years, but I've never had the chance to try it. So I got these two, and it's a color correcting full coverage cream plus anti-aging hydrating serum plus broad spectrum SPF 50.
That's a
So
lot.
essentially it does everything. And I didn't really read the color correcting part. I just saw, oh, It Cosmetics CC cream, let's give it a shot. And I tried it, and oh my god, it just gives you the most amazing color correction. Like, I barely need even concealer after this. Like, my concealer usage has dropped significantly. I need like half of what I used to put on my face. This is so good. Like, I've never been so impressed by a face product in a long time.
You bought
And
two shades.
I got sent these
Ah,
to
okay.
try,
Mm.
and it's great because I'm right now a great mix of these two. So when I'm tan, I was using this, but now that my tan is slowly fading away, I'm slowly leaning towards this, but I mix both of them.
So if I had to get one, which one? I
Oh, you
obviously,
would need this. You're not as tan as dusty as me. You would
which
need
one
this.
is
Would
it?
be your shade. This is the shade. Where is the shade? NTL tan. This is NTL tan, and this is tan RCH. But I do think they come in a great range of shades. And what I've been applying this with is the It Cosmetics brush. And you know, I've only used beauty blenders before this. This is my first brush application for a foundation slash CC cream. This is the Airbrush Blurring Foundation number 101. And it's so good. Now I don't use a beauty blender. I just use this. It gives a much better finish than a beauty blender. As an amateur makeup applier, I never really got the hype. I thought foundation is just for experts. After using this, I really love brushes more than blenders. So these are my favorites, but used together.
Very cool. I've heard so much about that product. Cool. I'm gonna do a beauty one too, and this is what I was talking about. It's like the one product that I think like saw me through the whole of like my India trip with all the humidity. I feel like I'm only ever talking about these like green things from Aveda because I feel like I may have spoken about it in a different video, but this is the gel. So this is the Aveda like curly gel. This is the reason my hair just like remained and like didn't go crazy. I used a fair bit more of this than I do here, and it makes such a difference. Like my hairdresser, when she recommended products to me, told me to get the curl cream, which is what I like swear by now. And she said this is like optional, but I had bought it anyway. But I think if you're like somewhere humid, you need gel, and this is the kind of gel that it does get a bit crispy if you put too much, which I totally was. But then you kind of can comb through it, and it's not like disgusting. It's something about it. It just does such a good job, and it kept like my hair looking good, smelling good. And it doesn't feel like icky. I've used a lot of gels that lay on your hands. You can just feel it. You almost can't wash it off.
Yeah.
This is like very sophisticated, very nice. And yeah, I'm so pleased I took this bottle. Like I was a bit like, oh, is it a bit weird to take like a gel to travel with? It's a bit bulky, but I think
Yeah.
it's totally worth it.
And do you like apply it on wet hair, dry hair?
Wet hair, like completely wet hair, literally out of the shower without even towel drying properly, just lightly like scrunching the water out of my hair. I put in like my usual routine, like all the products, and then this in the end, mid length ends mainly to add some weight. And I really think this is the one that did it.
So is it like good for styling but also keeping your hair from going crazy?
I don't know if it's gonna be good for styling. I don't think it's like a gel that because it's a bit soft. That's why it doesn't feel crunchy on curly hair. Like I don't know if I'm going to like I think I used it on my sister because she wanted like a slick bun. This is not gonna do that job like a strong hold gel is going to do. This is more like if you have textured hair and you want like wavy or curly hair to have some hold, but you also don't want like super crunchy curls, which
Yeah.
is what happens with a lot of these products. This is a really good gel.
I'm so glad because I feel like when we lived in India, you were always straightening your
Yeah, I wish I had this then, but I wouldn't have been able to afford it.
hair. I don't think AVEDA was a big thing back then. Like I didn't know of the brand as much.
It had launched when I was working in beauty, and I had done an Aveda trip to like
Oh,
Jaipur or something, and they had given me like everything, which is why for a long time I had all Aveda products.
yeah.
And I still have some like the hairbrush they gave me and stuff. That's how I was introduced to it. So initially I felt like I was a bit biased because I went on that and I got like this full brand immersion.
Mhm.
But I actually like them
Yeah,
now, all these years later.
that's nice.
Do you have any other beauty ones? Because I have
I do
one.
have another beauty one. Or
Yeah.
should I do the gadget first? I think I'll do the gadget just to break it up.
Are you
But
calling that a gadget, the sharpener?
gadget.
I thought
What
you
else do you It's my gadget, superhero gadget.
I thought like you were gonna say like headphones or something.
What do you call it? Tools, beauty tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a gadget.
Although I don't think we were dressed your makeup in this video.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know it looks a bit crazy and not doesn't suit the fall vibes we were trying to go for. Like my bottom half looks fall appropriate, but my face looks like this because I'm going to a Diwali event after this.
It looks great.
It'll look great with a lehenga, but not with this green sweater I have on.
I put some eyeshadow to match your
Looks so good. So the beauty tool that's my favorite is this little sharpener from Ulta Beauty, and it comes in 5 different sizes, I would say. So I had a really shitty sharpener that didn't essentially work, and I thought it's my eye pencils and lip pencils that were the problem. And I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be right, because I checked online and everybody else was able to sharpen those pencils. So I did a little bit of Googling, and this came up at the top of the search list when everyone was raving about it. And it's not too pricey. So, and I've never actually bought a sharpener. I think I stole the last one from somewhere. So I got this one and it works so well. And I just had a great time one afternoon sharpening all my pencils. Nothing much to say about it, just a really great sharpener.
That's good. I'm so glad you got a sharpener finally.
I know, I can't believe I've been using all these pencils all these years and using a sharpener that's actually not meant for makeup. Like that's a
Like a
regular
pencil
sharpener,
sharpener.
pencil sharpener.
Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna be
Makes
sharpened
sense.
off the plastic.
Yeah, that's why it made sense that those didn't work.
My next beauty one is another one I used throughout my trip. And this was a new discovery for me. I have used it before because a close friend of mine like loves it and has it at her place. And she kind of influenced me to buy it. And also I was looking for a cleanser to pack because I have a lot of like I wanted mostly a second cleanse, like after I remove my makeup
Yeah.
to sort of wash my whole face with, and everything I had were like so bulky. So I got this. This is the Ordinary's Squalane cleanser, and it's supposed to be a cleanser and makeup remover. It's like this cream consistency. I don't know if I should take some out.
I have used this before.
Have you used it? It's like a
Yeah.
cream, and then it like turns into a little bit of an oil.
Yeah.
Then you work it in, and then it emulsifies and you touch water to it. I actually really enjoyed using it. And I think my skin enjoys, like, really likes squalane as an ingredient anyway.
Yeah.
And it suits me. So it made sense that this worked. And I really liked how it felt. Like, I'm totally going to buy the full size. This is almost overused it the whole time. When I went to India, I started breaking out instantly. And I have always found like using squalane oil on inflammation has helped like reduce the inflammation for me. I don't know, obviously like a cleanser, it's not on your skin for too long, but all the breakouts, like I broke out on my forehead a bunch, just somehow massaging this in. I didn't have anything else with me. I did not carry any like spot treatments or anything. I had like really basic skincare. And somehow just using this and making sure I'm cleaning, I think really like help like calm everything down. I will definitely be buying the full size for the winter because I
Yeah.
think it's like such a nice product to use and it's like not that expensive compared to other cleansers in the market, and it really gives you something more premium for the price, I think.
I love The Ordinary though. I think it's such a great brand.
Did you like this one when you used it?
I did like this one, yeah. But because I use, I think, baby oil to take my makeup off, I didn't need something like this. So it was like, yeah, this is great to use, but I didn't notice a difference. I'm already adding like an oil to take my makeup off. But if
Like,
I did have my baby oil, this would have been a great
yeah.
alternative to add.
'Cause it is like it has an oily consistency, but it doesn't feel like a straight up oil. But it is like, if you can see, like my hands quite shiny. It's like a cream to oil to like, what is it turn milk consistency.
I have a beauty favorite, but I think I'm going to go into food now just to switch it up. And this is something I think I spoke about in the previous video, but it's been my coffee capsule. And this one is the Nespresso in, what is it, maple? Yeah, maple pecan. So good. This is my second sleeve of it. So you get like 10 in one sleeve, and I've already moved on to the second one, and I just absolutely love this one. I'm kind of over the pumpkin spice. I did get one pumpkin spice just to for the nostalgia, but I've been reaching for this so much more. Look how cute the packaging is.
Very cute.
And it's not a very strong flavor, but it's just like perfectly flavored. I think doesn't hit you with like, oh, this tastes so artificial. A really nice, pleasant taste. And I think if you don't like pumpkin spice that much, this one is a great one to try.
Oh, I'd love to try that. It sounds so good.
I have a blush favorite, and this is what's on my cheek as well, which I really love, and it's super long lasting. And it is the YSL liquid blushes. And
Ooh.
I'm currently wearing a combination of these two. So my favorite is actually using these together. I feel like this is a bit too pink for me and this is a bit too peachy for me, but mixed together, I just love the combination of it on my skin tone. I'm sure this would look great individually on other skin tones, but I don't like anything too pink or too peachy. So mix these together and it just looks, I think, great on my skin tone. And
That
it's
looks
so
so
long
good.
lasting. It's one of those liquid blushes. I know there's so many out there, but it's one of those that you really don't need to reapply throughout the day, which is essentially what I want today with like a doe foot applicator. So I tend to just put some on the back of my hand and like mix it up and use my fingers to apply.
That looks so good. I love that other shade, the peachier one.
This one, right? Yeah. So I have the shades. Unfortunately, they don't have like cool names. I think it's just numbers. I have the shade. The peachy one is 37 and the pink one is 66. And you barely need anything for it to show up on your face. You don't need a bunch. It's so pigmented.
Blush is really having a moment right now. Like everyone's releasing blushes.
I know there's so many out there. I think it's the decade of blushes.
My last one is a book, and this does not count because first of all, I haven't even finished half of it. But I was thinking, I was struggling with favorites for this month because I told you like October, I don't know what happened. I did read a lot, but I had a very like somewhat unlucky month with books. I didn't read anything I really enjoyed. I read one like book I really did not enjoy at all. Like that would be a 1 star.
Oh wow.
Let's not talk about it. But thankfully, I ended with this book, and I bought this in a really lovely bookshop at like the Kochi airport, and they had like such a nice selection. And this is an older book that I know a lot of people were reading like a few years ago, and I never read, but I've known about it. And I bought it and I started reading it, and I was traveling, so I didn't read it properly. I only properly started reading it honestly like a couple of days ago. So I am only about how many pages in? 70 pages in. And there's a lot to go. But it is such a nice premise and it's so promising and I'm already enjoying it a lot. This is The Memory Police
Mhm.
by Yoko Ogawa. So it's set in Japan. It's a translated work. It's reminding me of like so many books I read when I was younger because it's a dystopia, but it is almost like literary dystopia because it's a lot more mature. It's not like catering to young kids or anything. Young kids, young adults. It's set in Japan. It is basically about an island where they monitor the memory of the people who live there and they randomly make objects or concepts or things just disappear. It's about a few people, obviously, who don't forget and they are the target of the memory police. But what I like about it is it's obviously very engaging because like the concept is there, it's very plot driven in that sense. But even the atmosphere is so nice because it's about this protagonist who like lives by a river in a very cozy house, and there's lots of scenes where she's just like making tea or something. It's just a very like cozy read while also being very plot driven. Something about being set in Japan. I always like a book set in Japan because I just like the vibes. Very well written, very well translated, and I'm really hoping it goes well. But generally, also, when I looked at the reviews, most people sort of rated it pretty well. Hopefully, also going to tackle some bigger, like, I mean, it already is like talking about larger ideas about what it
Yeah.
means, like what it means to remember. I'm not finished it yet, but I feel like I will. So, yeah, that
Nice.
was the last one.
I did have a book favorite, but I think like my other favorites are more of a favorite that I kind of pushed my book away. I'll speak about it in our year-end video because it was a very enjoyable book. It was Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors.
Yes.
I really did enjoy it, but I feel like these were, I liked them even more that I kind of didn't want to talk about it right now in this video. My last favorite is a sweater. I just love everything about it. It's this brown sweater from, like, it's a cardigan.
Mm.
It has like a collar, it has these cute buttons, and it's just a chocolate brown sweater from Brandy Melville. And it's so
Nice.
well priced, like Brandy Melville. I don't think there's anything above $40 in there, but it's so cozy. It keeps you warm, and I just love that you can wear it in so many different ways. And I only got it in October, and I've already worn it like a bunch of times. On days that it's not that cold, I just wear it as a top. On
Mm.
days that it is chilly, I wear like a little white tank inside or a white t-shirt inside, or you could also wear like your thermals inside, and it looks so cute with it either left open or with like a couple of buttons. Yeah, I only have like one other cardigan, which is navy blue, that I wear all the time. So I thought this one is another great neutral to add to that, and it's just like so cozy. And it looks so great, like tucked in, but also like left open. I'm really into like my browns and burgundies at the moment. So again, I'm really short, so it's really difficult finding things that hit me at the right spot. But this one does. That's my favorites. I feel like I had a lot of things I discovered and loved in October.
Yeah, I feel like mine was a blur, but I'm so excited to be back. I'm excited to watch a lot of films. Actually, this was not a favorite from October, but I like watched a film today called The Room Next Door. It has Julianne Moore, Tilda Swinton, and that film, I mean, it's very nice and stuff, but visually it was so inspiring because the clothes were so good.
Where is it based?
In the US, I think. It's made by this Spanish filmmaker, and I think it's his like English film debut. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it at all by giving you any premise, but yeah, it's about these two friends who meet after a long time under some very strange, not strange, but like, yeah, very unique circumstances, and it's about their time together. And I think I've not seen this filmmaker's other work, but I think it's like something he like cares about, just like the visual elements, but just from someone who appreciates like good like beauty things and fashion things, it was such a treat, like visually. All their clothes that they wore, I was like, yeah, I'd wear that, I'd wear that. You want to like, I was so inspired coming out of that film, even though it's like not like a chill film. It's like quite like sad and has a very sad premise. And like they were wearing these lip colors that looked so good. And there's like one scene where she's putting on lipstick, and like instantly I was like, I want to buy that. What is that? It was one of those, but
So
no,
rare for me to find that in films.
yeah.
Usually through social media or like YouTube. Definitely not in movies.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I watch a lot of films, and when a film does like costume and hair and makeup well, it immediately makes me like it more.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I'm
I think
excited to watch
same with me and shows as well. Like that's one of those things that I can keep watching because I'll always notice something new the second time around and the third time around. Anyway, that was our October favorites.
it.
Sorry for the big gap, but we're gonna be back in December.
Yes, yes. I
All
hope
things
it's
Christmassy, hopefully.
so exciting. Did you see that Mariah Carey video?
I did. It was
How
so good.